Coming up on MHK All Day, we take a look at what to do if an emergency hits. Stay tuned to learn how you can prepare and find out how to make your lunches healthier.
And I'll tell you more about how the Chinese Students and Scholars Union is bringing a Chinese tradition to K-State.
From KKSU LD at Kansas State University, serving Manhattan and the Flint Hills family. This is MHK All Day.
Welcome back to another episode of MHK All Day. I'm your host, Isabel Lobby. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Coming up later in the show, we have the latest shows and movies coming out this month, and we have a live performance from a DJ. To get even more MHK All Day, check us out on Facebook and Twitter at MHK All Day. If there were to be an emergency, who would you call, where would you go, and what would you do? Here's what to do in case of an emergency.
North Korea has been in the news a lot lately. Kim Jong-un has been making nuclear weapons tests in the Pacific and has threatened the United States. President Trump has responded in kind. With political tensions rising, it brings up imagery of Cold War emergency preparation drills. However, many of us are probably too young to remember what those even are. That does bring up the question, in case of a nuclear attack or natural disaster, when the power is out and the cell phone towers are overloaded and you need to get to safety, what will you do? After all, we do live in Kansas, where we experience everything from tornadoes to floods to ice storms, sometimes all at once. This is something that very well could affect you in the near future. Having a plan is the first step to having peace of mind. First things first, in any emergency, whether it is a nuclear attack or a natural disaster, remember the most important thing is to stay calm. Next, you need to have a plan. Here's an example of a form available at ready.gov. It will take you through the different steps that are necessary to perform a checklist with your family. Next, check with your local government and see if they have any specific emergency procedures and where the official shelters are. In this political atmosphere, with tensions always being on the edge of a knife, with nuclear weapons being an option, and whether that can change in the blink of an eye, remember that having a plan and having your loved ones safe is always a good idea. Hopefully this list will help you to be prepared for whatever may come your way. Whether it is war, weather, or a zombie apocalypse, you'll be ready for it. For MHK All Day, this is Eric Manugian.
Hopefully that is some information that none of us will have to use, but making a plan one day to keep you and your loved ones safe. School lunches have been the focus of debate for decades, with parents always wanting the best for their kids. So we asked some experts at K-State the best way to improve the health standards of your children's homemade school lunches.
School lunches have come a long way in ensuring consistency, health, and food safety. However, many parents still choose to pack their own children's lunches. One of the main struggles for parents that choose to do this is to ensure that their children are eating a healthy and safe meal while at school. Of course, parents know that a balanced and nutritious lunch is vital to the success of their student, and one of the best ways of ensuring this is by modeling the My Plate guidelines from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Jennifer Hansen, assistant professor for the Department of Food, Nutrition, Dietetics, and Health for Kansas State University, says the benefits of a nutritious meal go far beyond lunch for just that one day. Healthy habits now may be also an indicator of food preferences in your child's future.
Making lunch as a college student is hard enough as it is, but as the mother or father of a young child, it can be even more difficult trying to read the mind of little children. Do kids still like PB&Js?
I think it's good to remind parents that children's food preferences develop very early in life. Actually, some experts suggest they develop food preferences as early as 2 to 3 years. So packing healthful lunches isn't just about providing for their nutritional needs today. It's about establishing lifelong eating habits that'll carry with them into adulthood.
In addition to the My Plate guidelines, Hansen advises to pay careful attention to an excess of added sugars found within fruit cups or juice drinks, and to vary your child's protein sources by introducing items such as beans, nuts, hummus, eggs, and low-fat dairy items, in addition to lunch meat. Of course, no healthy lunch is worthwhile if it makes it to school spoiled. Paola Paez, food safety specialist at K-State, says food safety is just as important as nutrition. Lunches she recommends should be packed in a thermos or insulated lunch bag. Paper bags won't cut it. And when it comes to eating food, timing is of the utmost importance to your child's health.
Anything that's left needs to be thrown away because kids tend to do that. You know, I'm coming back from home, I'm hungry, it's late, I'll eat what I have left from lunch. No, we need to teach them that everything that was left, just throw it away because it might not be safe for you to eat.
A few helpful tips from Paez regarding transporting foods to school: freeze a water bottle and place items that need to remain cool between that frozen bottle and an ice pack. By the time they're ready for lunch, the food item will still be fresh and the water ready to drink. In addition, if packing hot items in a thermos, pour boiling hot water in the thermos. First, empty it out and then fill it up with your soup, stew, or hot drink. This will keep it at an appropriate temperature for a much longer period. In Manhattan, Grant Nicholson, MHK All Day.
For other tips on packing a safe lunch, visit foodsafety.org. And to see U.S. nutritional guidelines for all children, visit choosemyplate.gov. The journalism school at K-State realizes the importance of teaching students about the military. Last week, Professor took her military public relations class to Fort Riley. Reporter Brittany Reed went to cover the field trip.
A K-State professor's military public relations class got the opportunity to visit Fort Riley last week. They were able to get a glimpse of soldiers' lives on post. The students felt like soldiers themselves when they got to pilot a flight training simulator and play combat training video games. The best part about having students coming on post?
The wow factor, and it really is. I almost regret not having you guys out here for another 3 hours to truly show you from the very beginning of training to almost the very end of training to see how much actually goes into this. But there's always the wow factor that it's not really an innate natural ability to be able to be a soldier in the sense of the tactical and technical proficiencies that they have to do. So, you know, getting you all out here and kind of getting some experience on trying to fly a helicopter. You don't just jump in and fly a helicopter. It takes a lot of training to do that. And that's what we do here. We're training all the time.
Of course, soldiers have busy lives with all their work and training they have to do. But for one of the students, he was surprised at how normal their lives are too.
As far as my view of the military, I mean, it just gives a greater outlook on the life of a soldier out there every day. You got to go through their, well, we didn't go into the barracks, but we saw a lot of the other living units and just everything about their life there. So it's not all just, you know, training and sleeping and, you know, preparing for war. It's still, they have lives out there, so.
One public affairs worker on post gave students one piece of advice.
Keep an open mind. Never think that that's the way we've always done it. Never think that you're not smart enough to come up with a new idea, because you are. And then don't discount the ideas that have been around for a long time too, because I think it takes the marriage of old knowledge and new knowledge to keep information flowing.
I wish all college students knew how much time and effort is put into training to actually be a soldier. It's not just waking up in the morning, running a few miles, going camping out in a field for a couple days, and then going down to Aggieville. You know, there's a lot of actual work and effort that gets put into this on a daily basis. And so there's a lot of work that's done that, if college students knew one thing, I'd want to make sure they knew that.
On Fort Riley, Brittany Reed, MHK All Day.
Fort Riley has many events to give people a chance to come on post. On October 29th, they will be having a famous ghost tours. Up next, we give you a look at traditional Chinese Autumn Festival. And the Mary Poppins play director is here to give us details on her play that's showing now.
When I hear the phrase giving back,
it means opportunity for me to do something for others.
Volunteering exposes you to different ways of life and different people around the world.
They teach you just as much as you teach them.
It allows you to understand the social issues that we face. The only people who can resolve those social issues is us, and that's starting with our community.
I think for me it means just really embodying what it means to be a part of that K-State family.
K-State athletics team with Courts for Kids, and we went to Costa Rica, a town called Leona Veja.
We went to Dallas to volunteer at Aid Services of Dallas.
I believe everybody should have education, and that's why I volunteer at a high school.
It's a family atmosphere, and we're here to take care of each other. And I think that K-State Proud and other things that students do really embody that family atmosphere that we've been taught since we got here.
What motivates Wildcats to give back?
Empathy.
Kindness.
You.
I'm Kathleen from Mining, Germany.
I'm Ginger from Overland Park, Kansas.
I've traveled to London and saw the Parliament, studied in Mexico City, spent the summer in Austria, went skiing in the Alps. Oh, and I visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Well, I've been to the world's largest ball of twine.
Can we go?
Of course!
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Up next, the world's deepest hand-dug well.
Is it near the Grand Canyon?
Welcome back. K-State students got to experience a Chinese tradition on Wednesday. The Chinese Students and Scholars Union hosted a Mid-Autumn Festival in the Student Union. Students got to participate in a variety of traditional Chinese activities, like making mooncakes, creating their own Chinese lanterns, and how to write in Chinese. The celebration of the autumn harvest dates back to the Shang Dynasty and has evolved to a traditional Chinese festival. The festival is a time for friends and families to come together to harvest crops, give thanks, and pray for conceptual and material satisfaction. President Wei Jun-sun says that by celebrating the festival on campus, Chinese students are able to embrace their culture while sharing it with the rest of the K-State community.
Our home too, K-State, and other Americans and international students could know about our culture, to know our China is changing. And it's a festival that everyone to get together.
Now I'm joined with reporter Reina Garcia, who has brought mooncake back from the festival. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Isabel, so the mooncake is a traditional Chinese pastry that's served at the Mid-Autumn Festival. It's actually one of the most popular foods.
Wow.
So outside it has a pastry skin, and inside it has sweet filling, usually made from red bean or lotus seed paste. And these are usually given to friends and family at the Autumn Festival gatherings, which are one of the most important festivals in China.
Well, that's awesome, and that looks delicious. The festival looked like such a fun time. And speaking of fun time, we have the director of the play Mary Poppins in studio with Tyler Waymeyer. Tyler?
Thanks, Isabel. Today we have Penny Kohler, the director of Mary Poppins, which is being held locally at the Manhattan Art Center. Thank you, Penny, for being here.
My pleasure.
Can you tell me a little about how directing the show goes?
Well, about a year ago, I started looking at scripts, and I've always loved Mary Poppins, always, since I was a kid, just like many, many people. And so about a year ago, I was looking at scripts, and I decided that it was time to do Mary Poppins and to get it underway. And we put it on our docket for this year's season. And a couple of months ago, we had some auditions. Lots of community members came from all around, and what wonderful talent we have here in this town. I just cannot begin to tell you how thrilled I was to have the people that are in our cast join us. And from there on out, we learned singing, we learned dancing. We have wonderful choreography from Lainey Ross, who's just a fabulous choreographer. And from there on in, we then have a beautiful production of Mary Poppins that's opened about a week ago.
So this is almost like a dream come true for you.
It is so much a dream come true for me. When I was a little kid, I used to sing Let's Go Fly a Kite with my sister on the swing sets back in the 1960s.
So what do you really think made this show come together? The community, did that help a lot?
Well, of course. The people in Kansas are fabulous people. The people in Manhattan are fabulous people. And the talent that we have, a lot of them from K-State, the K-State Theater Department, also very wonderful people. Lots and lots of talent, lots and lots of love for making art and making beautiful art. And here it all came, and there it all is.
So what would you say your favorite part about the show has been so far?
Well, I think one of the stories that I heard last weekend was the little boy who plays Michael. His great-grandmother came to the show, and she sat there. She's blind, she's got arthritis, but she sat there during the show singing along with the songs. And you know, that I think about that story, and I think that making art is what it's all about. And touching somebody, you know, any generation, whether it's little kids who've come to the show and they're bouncing in their chairs. But to me, it's just wonderful that this universal message of love and beauty and sharing love with other people has gone up to the great-grandmother of our little Michael.
That must have been a great experience to experience that with that family.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you so much, Penny, for being here with us today. If you would like to attend the musical, tickets are still available for performances in the next 2 weeks. For show times, visit manhattanarts.org. Up next, we will tell you about the latest shows and movies coming soon.
When I hear the phrase giving back,
It means an opportunity for me to do something for others.
Volunteering exposes you to different ways of life and different people around the world.
They teach you just as much as you teach them.
it allows you to understand the social issues that we face. The only people who can resolve those social issues is us, and that's starting with our community.
I think for me it means just really embodying what it means to be a part of that K-State family.
K-State athletics team with Courts for Kids, and we went to Costa Rica, a town called Liana Veja.
We went to Dallas to volunteer at Aid Services of Dallas.
I believe everybody should have education, and that's why I volunteer at a high school.
It's a family atmosphere, and we're here to take care of each other, and I think that K-State Proud and other things that students do really embody that family atmosphere that we've been taught since we got here.
What motivates Wildcats to give back?
Empathy.
Kindness.
You.
I'm Kathleen from Meiningen, Germany.
I'm Ginger from Overland Park, Kansas.
I've traveled to London and saw the Parliament, studied in Mexico City, spent the summer in Austria, went skiing in the Alps, and I visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Well, I've been to the world's largest ball of twine.
Can we go?
Of course!
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Up next, the world's deepest hand-dug well.
Is it near the Grand Canyon?
Autumn is when leaves fall and new movies arise. Maya has the newest shows and movies heading to a TV near you.
It's the beginning of a new month, which means new TV shows and movie releases. We start off with The Orville. It's a new TV show made by Fox. Orville is a Star Trek spoof created by Seth MacFarlane of Family Guy. From what we've seen so far, this show may actually be more popular than that series. Follow the crew of the not-so-functional exploratory ship in its Earth's interstellar fleet 400 years into the future. Make sure to get ready to have some laughs. Star Trek Discovery is available on CBS All Access and is a new sci-fi drama series. 10 years before Kirk, Spock, and the Enterprise, the USS Discovery discovers new worlds and life forms as one Starfleet officer learns to understand all things alien. New on CBS, Young Sheldon is a comedy series. The comedy series is about the early life childhood of genius Sheldon. Later, that child can be seen in The Big Bang Theory. Marvel's Inhumans is a new drama series by NBC. Marvel will tie into the Avengers universe as well. Inhumans is the story of an isolated community of superhumans who fight to protect themselves. Fox Ghost is a new comedy series as well, a new show of the paranormal that has Craig Robinson and Adam Scott from The Office and Parks and Recs. The Gifted is a new drama series on Fox featuring Marvel's X-Men. In the world where mutated humans are treated with distrust and fear, an institute for mutants battle to archive peaceful coexistence with humanity. In new movies, Blade Runner 2049 and the sequel to the 1982 classic, a young Blade Runner's discovery of the long-buried secret leads him to track down former Blade Runner Rick Deckard, who's been missing for 30 years. And as you all know, fall is officially here, and with that comes Halloween and all of the horror movies that we love to hate. Tyler Perry's Boo 2, a Medea Halloween, will be coming out on October 20th. You can watch Medea venture to a haunted campground and fight to stay alive with monsters, goblins, and the boogeyman are unleashed. On Friday the 13th, get ready to get your scare on with Happy Death Day. A college student relives the day of her murder with both its unexceptional details and terrifying until she discovers her killer's identity. And speaking of Happy Death Day, our own Grant Miller was at a special screening of the movie to hear what viewers had to say about it.
So, you just saw Happy Death Day. What did you think of the movie?
It was really good. I was pretty surprised by it, actually.
Whitney, did you like the movie?
I love the movie, yes.
Would you recommend it to a friend?
I would recommend. I'm going to go home and recommend it to some friends.
And are you a big fan of horror movies usually?
Usually, yes. I like being scared.
Why do you guys like being scared so much?
I just kind of like the thrill of it. Yeah, it's a lot more exciting than a normal movie, and for stuff sure. Like that, yeah.
Would you recommend this movie to a friend?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good movie.
That's all the latest shows and movies coming soon. Back to you, Isabel.
Thanks, Maya. Excited to see those new shows and movies when they come out. After the break, we have a live performance from a DJ, and he'll even give me a few lessons.
When I hear the phrase giving back,
It means an opportunity for me to do something for others.
Volunteering exposes you to different ways of life and different people around the world.
They teach you just as much as you teach them.
it allows you to understand the social issues that we face. The only people who can resolve those social issues is us, and that's starting with our community.
I think for me it means just really embodying what it means to be a part of that K-State family.
K-State athletics team with Courts for Kids, and we went to Costa Rica, a town called Veja.
We went to Dallas to volunteer at Aid Services of Dallas.
I believe everybody should have education, and that's why I volunteer at a high school.
It's a family atmosphere, and we're here to take care of each other, and I think that K-State Proud and other things that students do really embody that family atmosphere that we've been taught since we got here.
What motivates Wildcats to give back?
Empathy.
Kindness.
You.
I'm Kathleen from Mining, Germany.
I'm Ginger from Overland Park, Kansas.
I've traveled to London and saw the Parliament, studied in Mexico City, spent the summer in Austria, went skiing in the Alps, and I visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Well, I've been to the world's largest ball of twine.
Can we go?
Of course!
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Up next, the world's deepest hand-dug well.
Is it near the Grand Canyon?
I'm here with K-State student Landon Wingerson, who started his own DJ business, Wing Productions. So Landon, when did you start DJing?
I started quite a while ago. I started way back in junior high with an iPod actually. It wasn't very professional, but you got to start somewhere. From there on, it kind of just skyrocketed, and professionally I really started freshman year of college. So it really took off.
Yeah, so what made you want to start this business?
From my love of music, I've been really involved in music my whole life. My whole family is too. I just listened to it all the time, and ever since I started back in high school, I was like, wow, I can make some money off this. So I started it up, and it just took off from there, and I've had a lot of fun with it.
So how has your company or your business kind of expanded since you started?
First it's just me, and I've been traveling all over the state of Kansas, doing all sorts of events. From there on, this summer we kind of hit a milestone. I've hired my first employee, Alec. He's been doing a great job, and then we're have a backup DJ, Derek, and I hope to start him actually as a full-time, hopefully around March. So some pretty big milestones that we've hit so far.
Great. So what is your favorite event you've ever DJ'd?
Favorite event ever was probably my largest event. It was for FFA, state FFA organization here in Manhattan, right here at the town center mall, and 1,200 people attended, and it was amazing. They were wild. I had a lot of fun. My voice was gone by the end, but that was my favorite.
That's awesome. So do you think you can show me kind of how to DJ?
I think so. I think we can do something like that. So what we're going to start off with is something really basic. So this is like the foundation. So
This week for MHK All Day. Be sure to be here next week.
This is Channel 8 News.